And welcome back to the return of himself and the Ninja podcast with myself, Steve Lowry, and Ninja Colin Bourne, aka the Serp Go Ninja. Any other names you go by?
A few others, but we can't say them here. It's been a minute, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a while. So,
just to confession.
Yeah, just to sort of reintroduce ourselves. Myself and Colin go back a couple of years, not as long as probably I would have liked to meet him at the start of my MMA and Jiu-Jitsu journey. But I think we clicked. You sort of, I touched base with you on the vlogs. You sort of gave me a bit of guidance on what to do when I started my own little vlog, as well as I was doing the Satanta podcast and you were doing the Shinobi vlog at the time. So we said we try to do a little thing together. We did it for a while, and I think we both got fairly busy where we didn't pursue it as much as we'd like to. I think we were just looking there 3 years ago was the last time we actually did anything together. We walked through Lagos, where Colin obviously has the famous Shinobi Academy. So we walked through there. So I think what we're going to do is just sort of talk back on the last 3 years and what's gone on and how things have changed, and obviously with the current situation worldwide at the minute with COVID-19, people might get a bit nostalgic with a couple of the stories, and hopefully the plan is now if we do a weekly podcast and try to get a couple of the guys on to tell a couple of the old stories about the good old days of the Irish MMA scene and stuff like that, or anything in general you want to talk about. So that's the plan. I suppose for you, Colin, what's been going on? Well, a lot's been going on for you.
Not much, really. far from traveling the world with the champ and the Mayweather tour. And did we do one before I got involved in all that? No, I hadn't been involved in all that, had I?
No, you hadn't been close. I'll tell you, Connor had gone over to you.
Yeah.
I think it might have been before or after the Sweden fight. I'm not too sure, but I think it was before or after I won the big fight, and it was just to sort of himself and Dee, I think, went over and you did a video with him.
That's right.
And I think that was sort of the start where people seeing you involved with a video with Connor.
Yeah.
And then it spiraled into the whole.
Actually, I put up a photograph last night on the gram of this aerial shot of Connor and the chaos around them, and there I am in the middle of it, and it was pretty much been like that for the last 3 years.
I actually looked at that photograph and I was looking at him going, look at him trying to put his elbow in a position where he can nudge your man to the side. I actually looked at it, it was crazy because as he came walking through, there could have been 20 guys on each side, and you had the camera shot in line for him to walk towards you
in the line of fire. It was.
It's like you were saying. I watched one of your vlogs there last week, and you were saying the calm is in the eye of the storm. And when you look at it, he was sort of in that suit, just walking through, and everybody was like, trying to get in to get a bit of the action.
It's a scramble.
But right in the center, it was just like a normal little stroll.
Yeah. It's been a mad one. It's been like all over the place. Been to met people that you never had the chances to meet. That was one of the biggest ones. Like I've met people that you'd never meet. Like on the last camp we met Tony Robbins. You know, before that you met Ido Portal, Dana White, all these dudes.
Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. Paulie Malignaggi, Mayweather, all those guys. Cowboy Cerrone, all those guys. But it's been I tell you what, it's good to see that they're no better than you, because I think you brought up in that little Paddy Catholic being kept down kind of mentality. It's hard to get that off the hard drive, and then you actually meet the guys at the top, and you think, hang on a second, he's not who we thought he was. Do you know that kind of way? They think they've everything in control, but generally they kind of blag their way in a little bit. They got a little bit of charisma or a little bit of talent, but then they just fill in the gaps with people afterwards when they make enough money just to hire in the gaps, and all of a sudden it's this unit of a thing, you know. And then to get the name, you got to get to the bottom and all the way up, you know. That's been the lesson, I think, out of all this.
For social media, I think the likes of Schwarzenegger or Tony Robbins or Dana White, they would be a global superstar. And for a kid from Crumlin or a kid from Ballyfermot like myself to meet someone like that would be, it's not even like, imaginable. You cannot
You're not even meeting them. You're in it. You're in the conversation.
Rubbing shoulders with. But what I'm saying is, even to meet that person, like a global superstar, like Schwarzenegger, from a kid from Dublin, you wouldn't put yourself there. But through obviously Connor's success, you were there. But what you brought to it was you captured the moment, and that allowed you to stick into the slipstream of the whole Connor show when you caught every moment over every one of them fights type thing, which enabled you to rub shoulders with them people. And that's where I think that's where you get to see, they're just a normal Joe Soap.
Yeah, and that was the thing with the camera. The camera got me in a lot of doors that I wouldn't have got in. It just, you're with a camera. I always hear this expression: if you look like a professional, people will treat you like a professional.
Yeah.
And I walked in like I was a professional, even though I just had a camera and a laptop. And people just assume that you're the guy with the camera. And in I got. I dropped it there for a while because it just got in the way. And I've kind of started picking it up again, started doing the vlog again. I realized with all the people sitting at home, there was a captive audience of everybody. So I thought I'll start making some content. And then it's kind of turned into a different style because I got sick of making vlogs and montages. There's only so far you can go with that. Now I've been telling stories, which I've always told stories, but it's a case of getting them down on the film. So I've been doing that a lot. Moody lighting, hats, and stories. Pretty much.
I've noticed your the format of the vlog has changed. I suppose it's evolved from going from different kills that you've had and stuff like that up to where you're.
That's good. You can't be on a telly, son. Come on.
What's going on here? Cameo.
Everybody likes me. What can I tell you?
As I said, I can see the evolution of it, and I think now it's. I know you said before you like Casey Neistat style of just making a small movie type of thing, and I can sort of see what you're doing now, where you're showing your day to day of you're logging the day through video.
Yeah.
So you're doing the vlog, but there's a lot more in it than just telling the story.
There's a bit more of me in it, I think. If you know what I mean.
Well, I think
not that I was never in it because I'd be talking to the camera. It's a bit more of me because it's more like I want to see the progression of how I'm getting on because I've doubled down on the daily routine of what I'm doing. I'm doing the same thing over and over again. I picked up the katana, the samurai sword again, which I hadn't touched for 12 years. I'm a third dan black belt in ninjutsu under Brian McCarthy in the BBD, but that sword's been sitting on that wall since I got here 10 years ago, and I haven't been messing with it. And I thought, what a skill to lose, because I used to fancy myself with it, and now I'm starting to kind of chop, trim the bushes outside and chop down melons, and I'm getting into it. It's really good for the head, but it's also good for the movement and the speed. So I've been starting to do that a lot more than I used to, So
I think this whole the pandemic at the minute is bringing people away from the way we were always in this rat race of do more, quicker, do more, to now we've sort of, not resetting away, but we've sort of stripped it back. Like you were saying there, you're going back to your katana, you're going back to the old things that gave you, a sense of achievement when you did a certain, I don't know if it's called a kata, but a certain technique and it happened the way it should happen. And it's even with myself now, I'm after going and buying a new canoe. I have the bow back out. Yeah. I'm down on the Liffey every day.
The bow for a while, weren't you?
I'm back into the bow. I pulled the bow back out. I'm actually getting it dialed in at the minute. I have a 60-pound draw, compound bow.
Right.
Pick the snot out of your nose from the halfway line of a football pitch.
Really?
I'm handy on it.
Did you meet Carlos downstairs in the bar? Did you?
No,
he's in the archery club. And he's set up downstairs now because there's no one coming to the bar. So me and him are going to exchange. I'm going to show him katana, and he's going to show me how to do the bow and arrow.
Is he doing a compound bow or a?
Yeah, he does competitions. He does these ones where they have all these fake animals. Have you seen those things?
Oh yeah.
And he's sitting on a plastic donkey and shoot off the donkey.
That's it. What people to see me, I'd probably put, say if I went out on a Saturday or a Sunday,
Yeah.
probably put 300 arrows through the ball.
Wow. That's a
And
lot.
it's just, yeah, well, see, it's like, 10,000 hours, 10,000 kicks. It's the same. It's the same mentality. The more you do it, the better you'll get at it. Like jiu-jitsu, the more time you put in the mat, the better you get at it. So at one stage, I was able to put a water balloon on a goalpost, and from the halfway line, I could hit the water balloon.
Okay, now.
Yeah, I had that's the thing about me. When I get into something, I get into it.
Right.
Yeah. But what I've done is, after I went and bought, it was crazy. I was looking at getting the canoe before this whole lockdown thing happened. And I said, fuck it, I'm just gonna buy it. The last 3 years for me has been crazy in work. So I said, look, I'm just gonna pull it back while this whole lockdown is on and make the commitment to buy it. So I bought it. So I live 1.2 kilometers from the Liffey.
Right.
So I'm within the 2 kilometer lockdown limit. So I can get to the launch site and then I can go up and down the Liffey. Now I don't know if the Liffey is considered international waters in the 2 kilometer radius of flight.
You can say you got caught in a current.
Well, look, I do 8K every evening paddling.
In hell.
It takes me about 2.5 hours on my own in a 15-foot Canadian canoe.
So what's that look like?
I'll stick a picture up. I stuck a picture up on Instagram yesterday in the video. So it's a normal, what people class a canoe is more so a kayak, a 1 or 2 man with the spray deck. You sit into it and you sit in the sails. So what I have is more of a touring canoe. So it'll be open.
Right. With the paddle on one side, is it?
With one paddle, yeah. One paddle.
Yeah, I know them now. Yeah, the Canadian one, yeah. And have you got one knee down, one knee up?
You can go one knee down, you can go double knees. So at the minute, years ago, I would have done a lot of kayaking, which would have been the single oar.
Yeah.
Right? So now what I've done is I'm trying to learn all the techniques and all the strokes and stuff like that. So I'm practicing one knee up, kneeling. At the minute, I'm going right to the left-hand side of the boat. So the boat is the canoe is like this in the water.
Right.
So the water's nearly coming over the top of it. So that will give me less surface area.
Gotcha.
Which I can streamline more.
Right.
So it's getting the stroke timed as well as the line straight without the water coming into the canoe. So there's a bit in it, but look, I've loads of time.
Okay, now. Yeah, we have loads of time. That's what one thing we have. This ain't going nowhere, is it?
Well, do you know what, Colin? It's like we were saying, we'll reflect on the last 3 years. The last 3 years, myself and my business partner, rebranded the company 3 years ago.
3 years ago, you were doing sweet, weren't you, really? Mickey Mouse stuff.
Here's what happened. I was running a company, one of the biggest service companies in the country. We were servicing quarries and mines.
Right.
The boom, the arse fell out of the boom, and there was no money to pay anybody off and all this type of stuff. So I had to start from scratch. What I had was my knowledge was about quarries and mines. Although I had spent years painting with my dad and working on building sites, that's where I had specialised in, was within the quarry and mine industry. So a kid from Ballyfermot, but there's no quarries, there's no mines. What am I going to do? And I said, fuck it. I bought a ladder, a window cleaning kit, and I went into town to get in with all the companies, cleaning their windows, maintaining small office jobs. And what I did was I got it to where I got a big customer base, and I was able to, say, supply the maintenance contracts for offices in towns or restaurants or bar chains. And then I met my business partner, who's a chippy by trade, but he comes from a family of tradesmen. His fathers and uncles are all plasterers and stuff like that. But I've never seen anybody like him. When it comes to woodwork and bespoke carpentry, I've never seen anybody like him. He's meticulous. He's a perfectionist about it. So the two of us met up. He could bring the the skills to do the big projects that I'd love to have done, and I could bring the support network with it. So the likes of the marketing, the sales, the networks of people that I had. So then, yeah, we rebranded 3 years ago. We got ourselves an office and a showroom, and just start cracking on. And we're after putting probably sometimes 14, 15-hour days, stupid hours, but we've built it up to where we supply a service that's second to none. There's no one that can compete with us in my eyes, and I suppose everybody thinks that way about their own little baby, but we put the work in, and we put a good solid base to build off. Now the only thing is, with this bloody whole pandemic, people don't have the money to go renovating their houses or extending their houses or stuff like that. Now what we still have going is we also own housecheck.ie, which is like if you're buying a house, we do a pre-purchase survey so you know exactly what you're buying. Make sure there's no damp, no structural issues in the house. So we still have our online consultations on that. We're still doing drawings and planning applications for people online, but the actual physical building and renovating houses has stopped. But yeah, so as I say, and after a crazy 3 years of work, it's sort of a welcome little break where I can go back and pull out the ball, pull out the canoe. I'm actually committing to myself, as soon as this lockdown is over, I'm getting back in the mat. I'm going to get me black belt. I'm going to put the hours in. Might even do a couple of competitions.
Because you just can't have that. Stephen Lowry, almost a black belt. You got to be.
I'm probably the longest serving brown belt in the country.
Yeah, but not for the last 3 years, son.
No, well, but
you're a brown belt. How long are you a brown belt? About 7 years, are you?
Probably 7 years, yeah. 7 years.
I was scratched 3 off that, so 4, right?
But it's only now that you look back, when you have time to stop and think, and you look back and you go, do you know what? Why aren't I doing it? It's like what Andy says. You've 1 hour. That's all you have to commit. There's 24 hours.
Yeah. Haven't got time by default. Haven't got time by default. You know what I mean? You don't even think about what you're even saying anymore. Nah, haven't got time. I'm busy.
See, that's what happens if you go into the autopilot, and the autopilot kicks in your daily routine.
And you're competitive.
Well, I didn't really have a very competitive career.
You're competitive. You're a competitive in nature. It doesn't mean you have to compete. Like, everything's competitive. Like, you're competitive because you roll against guys. You're competitive to take off the lights first. You're competitive to tie your shoe quicker than guy. You're competitive to take more doors than the fella next to you. Do you know what I mean? It's just nature. So it's just, you're trying to get the best business. I want to be, and like you say, I've seen this stuff. It looks fantastic, and I know because I was in that game as well. But like the detail and the stuff you're producing is fun. From what you wear to where you came in that amount of time, it's like, fuck, he's doing some good stuff, man. It's good to see.
It's only when you stand back and look what, like, even down to like the setup that we put in with the showroom, the service that we're providing is where we can take a client from buying a house to letting them turn the key, and we have the showroom, the workshop to make everything. What people are blown away by is the amount of technology that you can bring into it now. Even down to when we're doing the surveys, I have a drone in the air, and the drone is doing a roof survey and a chimney stack survey and a gutter fascia soffit survey.
What, then just I can video, is it?
All on the drone. The drone goes right up, and I can have
what's going on.
Yeah, I can have the engineer or the client hold the iPad. I can check the face off of gutters. I can check all the ridge tiles. I can check all the roof lines, the chimney stack, everything from the ground. So years ago, when people were buying a house, they'd rock up. You know this. They'd rock up. It'd be the young couple and the dad who works as a transport manager for somebody.
Yeah.
And he walked up, and you do that to the wall.
Yeah, like the lads in the supermarket with the melons.
He'll do that, and he go, block wall, good solid house, but he won't have the technical, ability to know what's good and what's bad. But the people are sort of blown away by the technology that we're bringing into it now.
That's brilliant.
But the game is changing. Before, years ago, we'd go in and you'd literally say to a woman, that's what I'm going to build for you. And it'd be on a 20 John Player Blue packet. You go, that's what you're getting. Where now, I have a set of goggles. She can put the goggles on and she can sit in her room and I'll bring her through her house in a 3D virtual simulator.
Fucking hell.
Literally, it's mind blowing some of the stuff that I have.
Isn't that great though, isn't it?
For me, it not that I don't have to push the sale, but I just let them look through and practicality wise, the day-to-day living of the family. Is it practical for you? Yeah, that's perfect. So it even down to, we had one about 2 years ago, and I had the client walking through. The minute I opened the front door, I went into a hallway, and there was a door on the right hand side, and I opened that, and she said, actually, do you know what, I can see my kitchen from the front door. I don't want someone to be able to see. And just through the 3D visualizer, across, readjust the drawing. So we went to planning, we didn't have any hiccups. We had everything where we need to have it.
Gotcha.
And that's just from her being able to put on a set of goggles or sit in front of the screen and walk through the house in 3D.
Unreal,
even down to tiles. I can go on and take a CAD block off a website, off say a kitchen company or an appliance. You can go online. You can take the CAD block.
What's a CAD block?
I presume. So you know CAD. So the computer aided design, yeah.
Yeah.
So you can go online and you can get the actual file for, say, a Predator laptop with Dolby audio sound, right? And I can put that into my software. So when I do out the drawing, I can put that appliance into your drawing. So if you say, right, I'm getting, all Panasonic throughout the house, I can go on to Panasonic and take all their CAD blocks, and I can put them into my software, which will then show them within the drawing.
Fuck off.
Yeah, so there's no sort of guesstimates in it.
Right.
Here's what I can provide for you. I can get it over the line in this amount of time, for this amount of money, within budget, and they have all the facts before they even sign the contract.
So it is virtual reality, and it's in a common day use.
It's now look, it's so some people think, Jay, that's you have to spend money to get that done, but the money that you spend at the start takes out all the delays, the hiccups, the problems. They're all foreseen at the beginning.
Makes a lot of sense.
When you get into the build, you don't find rot in the house. You don't find structural damage in the house. You don't find problem with the roofs. You don't find, problem layouts and stuff isn't working in certain areas, because we've striked all them problems off at the very start.
Where do you see, say this goes on another, say, 6 months? Obviously, you're going to have to start looking at more like technology-based stuff then.
Well, what I can still do now is I'm still doing like hourly consultations with people on designs for upcoming jobs. Like jobs sitting with the planning authorities at the minute. Obviously, stuff is slowed down with the guys in the planning office. So I still stuff there that has to be done. Gotcha. The supply lines, as in from the main suppliers, are open to a certain extent.
Gotcha.
But it's where people are looking for specialty products, like, say, a black stone bath or a certain tile or certain countertop. We may have to, change around something. But I don't know how long this is going to go on for. I really don't. I can see another couple of weeks.
What's your hot take on it?
I'll tell you what my one take is from it.
Yeah.
In this little island that we all live on, we have the savvy, we have the brains, we have the know-how, we have the wit, we have the charm, we have everything. We also have the industry we're in to be self-sustainable, right? We can make medical masks, we can make respirators, we can make all the ventilator, whatever they need. That can be all made in-house. We can produce our own food, we can produce our own medicines. We've some of the best labs in the world here. I remember talking to a girl who I went to the States with, and she was telling me that she works in that industry. Stuff gets sent from all over the world to her lab to be tested, because they're leading the charge in that certain style of testing. So regardless what the industry is, Ireland have something for it. We can produce everything we're in.
That's that's our leading industry, don't you? Medical devices.
Well,
I did a job when I had a media company. We did this thing called BioInnovate, where it was a thing in Galway where they got these guys in from different sources. So they'd have a medical guy, an engineer, and a designer, but it would be a surgeon. It wouldn't be like a just somebody else, someone that's already in the business. And they had this fellowship for a year where they brought all these people in, and they brought 21 people onto the course. They went to a hospital and they would observe a need, not a problem. Because me and you can sit around and fix every problem in the world. But is there a need for it? It's like, I'm making this new knife. Yeah, but is there a need for this knife?
Yeah.
It's like any other knife, if you know what I mean. So they would usually, what they would do is they wouldn't guide them into groups. The groups would form themselves. So just let the whole thing just play out. And all of a sudden there was two people together. Say me and you got on. You're an engineer. I'm a medical, doctor, whatever. I'm a surgeon. And we come up with a product. We find if there's a need, and then we at the end of it, whoever has the best product wins. And then they got money then from the IDA
as a startup.
As a startup, I think the first one they did sold for 5 million after 2 years. You know what I mean? But medical devices in Ireland is one of the biggest industries. And when I was interviewing all these people in it, because they wanted some press on it, and I got to interview the people that were on the course, the fellows, and it was very interesting to see the extent of how good the labs are, how good the people are, how educated the nation is. And it really, really is a very highly educated country. Like I say, we could sustain ourselves, but I suppose they're holding back. Well, what are they holding back for is the kind of question, right? They don't want everyone getting it at the same time. So, okay, so what you're waiting on a vaccine, right? So best case scenario for a vaccine, best case, 18 months, best case. Ebola took 5 years. So, okay, best case, you do your lab, you do your test on people after 18 months. Then you got to produce 8 billion vaccines. That's how many people's on the planet. How long is that going to, and then administer it? How long is that going to take? So we're talking 3-4 years. By 18 months, everyone's going to get it anyways.
Well, look, it's like a woman said to me, Anne Franks did 2 years.
Yeah.
Under the floorboards.
Look, we did the 80s in Dublin, do you know what I mean? It's like, for fuck's sake. Well, you had fuck all.
I'll tell you what I have been looking at, right?
Yeah.
But Ireland are in such a unique position, right? Let's compare it to the UK. The UK has just left the EU.
Yeah.
Right? So they haven't got the overdraft on a Monday morning, ring up the EU and go, yeah, listen, will you just lodge an overdraft there into the account? We need to, we need a few quid. That's not there no more. Their industry is all gone also. So the likes of that cars, motorbike industry, their coal, the iron, whatever big industry that the UK had within the fuels and stuff like that, it's sort of gone on them, so they've nothing within. Or Ireland we've still got our agriculture. We have our fishing, right? All them other fucking, the Spanish and the Italians and all should be told to leave the waters. We sustain our own waters and take from it. The oil, we have our oil that was sold overnight to I don't know who. That needs to be re-looked at.
When was that?
Years ago.
Right.
Years ago.
Where was the oil?
There's oil all over the coast of Ireland, all over the west coast, as far as I know. But the natural resource, I think it was sold. No, I'm not 100% sure, but they were sold in like a meeting behind closed doors meeting, as far as I can remember. I don't know, I can't remember the full story, but all them natural resources need to be taken back into the hands of the Irish people, and it needs to be managed like a business. And all them crooked cronies that look for PR, getting in photographs of people, they need to be sorted out. Now is the time for the Irish people to say, look, let's press the reset button. We have the workforce within, we've the know-how, we've the education within, and we have the support structure within. Take the natural resources back, and Ireland will be open for business in 3 months. Start putting our ducks in a row, and start being patriotic again. What Ireland should be about, shoulder to shoulder with everybody.
Because I'm obviously not there at the moment. I got the last plane out. They tried to stop me getting on the plane.
For people that don't know, the people obviously listening from my side, everybody from Colin's side will know a story. Colin's from Crumlin, who has a crazy, crazy, crazy life from the beginning with his cycling, traveling all over the world and whatever else. But he ended up in Lagos on a cliffside, looking at the most scenic view you could ever imagine.
It's pretty cool.
And he opened a gym there. And what he does is he has the locals there to train with him, but he also invites all MMA teams and jiu-jitsu teams and CrossFit gyms and stuff from all around the world to go and stay with him for a couple of days or a week to train. So Colin's over in Lagos in the sun, while the rest of us are sitting here.
No, I have the whole place myself. It's fucking great. Like usually, like by this time of the year now, it's Easter, so the tourists will be down, kind of just our usual mopey faces, you know. But it's like, I was looking at the flights. And I was thinking I better skedaddle before, because it was over with Connor. So I better skedaddle before she hits the fan. And I booked the flight and then taking all right grand. And I heard the next day they were going to close the borders. So I get to the gate. So, you know, you've gone through the whole thing, checked in your bags, gone through the gate. I've got my passport and my boarding pass. That's all you ever need to get on a plane going anywhere in Europe, right? And there's all these people off to the side. And the Ryanair girl says to me, she's about 22. She says to me, "Have you got your residency papers for Portugal?" And I was looking at her going, "I don't need residency papers. All I need is a passport and a thing." And she said, "The president just closed the country. You need residency." I said, "Hang on, I just pull it out of my hole." Like, what do you think I have? Like who walks around with papers of, you know what I mean? It's like being in Mother Russia or something.
You need them. Like, what papers do you show them?
But yeah, so I said, look, I live there. I own a property there. I own a business there. I live there, right? That's like, I'm getting on the plane. And there was a few people getting on the plane, and then everyone else was off to the side. And then it started kind of, you could see the other people starting to go, hang on, my thing, and it was all starting to get too much. You know, when one starts and then the other starts, because they were all quiet till I got there. And then it roiled up, and then your woman started crying. And I said, look, what do you need? So she needed, I said, look, I'll give you a photocopy of a bill with my name on it and an address. And she goes, yeah, that'll do. And so I got on the plane. And then when I got there, I was shitting myself. I had my lawyer on speed dial in case I got stopped by the passport control here and dragged in and shipped back out again, because I was like, fuck this.
Hang on. Whoa. Rewind. Yeah. Who has that fucking lawyer on speed dial?
Me.
Oh.
Me.
You with the family?
You always need a lawyer on fucking speed dial. You never know when you need a good lawyer. I've always got a little small bag packed just in case, right?
Better call some.
You never know, like someday, whatever. But yeah, I woke up to the passport control expecting a load of questions, and he was just like, that was it. In I went. Fucking grand, happy days. And since I got here, it's just been, because usually, like when you're away with Connor, it's just like, it's that I'm on 24 hours a day. Get a phone call at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm ready. Get a call, whenever, you're got to be ready to go all the time. And when I get back, I just kind of defrag and just switch off and don't talk to anyone, dump the social media. But this time I got back, I'd already dumped social media after the last cowboy fight. I just decided to kind of just jump off it, deleted it from my phone. And then when I got back, I said, all those Instagram model snowflakes now are going to fall apart within about 3 weeks. And they'll be coming into their expensive matches fucking tea. I'm going to take over and bring back the vlog. So I just start vlogging again. But it's what it's done is it's keeping me honest, as in I'm up before the sunrise every morning. I started kind of like playing like Hare Krishna music. Not that I'm into Hare Krishna, and I greet people with Hare Krishna now instead of hello anymore, just for the fucking curveball of it. And then I just record my little daily routine to see where the progress is. And then I started telling stories about people that I've met along the way, the full story. Now, hopefully I don't offend anyone along the way, but I'm not saying it in the sense of, it's just, that was my recollection of it. And that's how I felt, because obviously you're going to see it different than me. So some people, you're going to, I don't know if I'm going to offend them, but I'm just going to say that was my experience. Obviously they'll still be friends of mine now, but my experience when I met them first was this, theirs was that, if you know what I mean. So I started just kind of getting down a lot of stories, because you'll forget them. And actually, there was a guy who got in touch with me there, what's his name? Mick Lawless's son. There was a guy that used to go used to bring us to the bike races when we were juniors in a high ace van, and he'd ring him on a Saturday night. Mick, is there any space in the van? Because no one had a car. Yeah. You up in Tala at 9 o'clock, and you'd ride up to Tala. You get 8 lads into the back of the van, and the high aces were small then, not like the high aces now. They were fucking tiny.
And the best fight, I got to sit on the wheel arch.
Yeah, and someone brought a cassette with them, and you played some fucking music to motivate. The rest was all bail in the back of the van with the bikes, and we'd go to the races, and then someone would get up in a race and get a place, and be waiting around for a few hours for a trophy, and then Mick would be on the sauce locked, and then we'd all drive back again.
And back to norm.
Yeah. And then because I got some message there the other day about you're not wearing a helmet. I'm like.
I just had this discussion with my brother. My brother-in-law just got back on the bike.
Yeah.
He was actually supposed to go to over to you with Mario. Was Mario's camp cancelled?
Mario was crying the other day when he's so upset.
But getting back to the bike, the brother-in-law's got back on the bike, and he was walking out with a helmet yesterday. And my young fella said, Evan says, I'll go on a cycle with you. It's like, helmet's on. And for some reason, it twigged in my head. I was like, I remember Colin Bourne ripping people for wearing helmets.
Yeah.
I said, but he cycled for most of his life.
Yeah.
So what's the reason behind not wearing a helmet?
Never did. I actually watched it. Someone sent me a documentary there the other day, and it's the 1984 Tour de France, and it's a guy called 1983 Tour de France. Phil Anderson, this Australian guy who was favourite to win the tour. None of them are wearing helmets, and they're on like junk bikes. The bikes then, like you buy a bike for 200 quid now, it's better than that what they were racing on. Brakes were shit. Everything was shit. Now they got disc brakes, all sorts of fucking. The things stop on the corner better. The rubber's better. These lads were coming down like Alpine descents with shit asphalt, shit bikes, no rain and stuff, and they didn't even wear lids. None of them did. Are they all still alive? Yeah.
Football wear a leather cap. Now they wear as the game progressed. Obviously, the equipment.
I've fallen off fucking more times than you've been on a bike, and like I've hit my head twice, and of that, one of them wouldn't have made a difference if I fucking wore a lid or not. And you know what? I'm a risk taker. I like to take a chance. I don't want to go around with a stupid fucking thing on my head in case I might fall off. I mean, where do you stop? Elbow pads, knee pads. Like I see kids out here, right? And there was 2 kids on holidays, and they're only like this size, and they got a little helmet on them, and they got a bike. They can't even go like 3 miles an hour on the fucking thing. And then you go to Crumlin. I love going back to Crumlin because you see the kids on the mountain bike. Have you seen the mountain bike gangs now? Have you?
And on the back wheel. They don't cycle
on the back wheel. And then there's his mate sitting on the fucking on the bars, and they're like fucking 16 going down the wrong side of the road. None of them are wearing helmets, and I just think that's the way it should be. Take a fucking chance. Don't be pussyfooting around with your like, oh, what if you fall off? Well, if I fall off, I'm stupid, right? So I'll tell you when I do wear one. I wear one on the mountain bike because the fall on a mountain bike's different. And the chances of me falling off a mountain bike are every time I go out, probably going to fall off. But on the road bike, I haven't fallen off a road bike in a long time. Yeah, you're going to fall off a road bike. It's going to happen. But you tend to kind of, as you fall at 40k an hour, before you hit the ground, you've covered about fucking 20 feet. By then you're rolling. And then all you're doing is losing the skin here, the skin off your arse, and you're stuck to the bed sheets for 2 weeks. That's it. Weeping wounds, not your fucking head. So like, I had some guy tell me yesterday, like, give me a lecture. I had a bird actually go past me, Connor, and the doc. We'd pull in for something, and she's like, "Where's your helmets?" And when she was shouting at us, she went into the ditch. Like, fuck off! Would you stop all being so like pussies? Did you ever see the video of the lads in 1916 going down for the Rising on the bikes with the guns, and everyone's wearing a flat cap. You know, they're going into fucking to cause a rebellion. There's none of them wearing helmets then.
Well, I suppose the least of Connor's worry was falling off a bike, considering he's going to be going in to do 3 5s with someone.
That's the biggest thing we get. Why is he not wearing a helmet? Because we're not expecting to fall off that day. That's why. How about that?
Let's go back to the cowboy fight. Is that the first time you've done a UFC corner?
First time I did a corner.
Yeah, I remember myself and Martina were watching it, and I seen you stroll out. I was like, "Oh, look at the big dog in the picture."
And do you know what it felt like? It felt like I should have been there.
Yeah,
I didn't feel out of place. I love the chaos. I fucking
Have
love
you've
chaos.
been there through a lot of it, haven't you? You've been.
Yeah, I mean, like especially with this camp, I've been on the road for like 9 months. Like I'm full time with Connor now, and I've been on the road for 9 months. We were in Miami last year. Then we were in New York. Then we were in LA. Then we were on a whiskey tour. Russia, went to Russia with him. Just been all over the globe with him. And just basically like any of the training I'm there because I can hold pads, I can do jiu-jitsu, I can do a bit of tip-tap sparring if that's what I want to do, or do a lot of the kicking. I did all the kicks with him and with the kick shields. We did some great workouts with that. And like I fought in Thailand, I've been to Thailand a few times, so I know what I'm doing. But I'll keep it all above water, and then obviously then the last few weeks they're running, the other boys come in. But I mean, I was just I just wanted to see it from the start to the finish because I was so involved in, especially in this one, because it wasn't just a 6-8 week training camp. It was 9 months on the road. It was 9 months of working and trying to get the training sessions in. I mean, we were in all these like Hicksville towns in America. You drop off in some place for a day, and the first thing I did was find out where we can train or what we can train. Do you know what I mean? So I put a lot into it, but also Connor had put a lot into it, and then I just wanted to be there to see that, and it was something. It was incredible. I mean, he's a fucking savant. I mean,
Where was the Cowboy fight? Vegas?
Vegas, yeah, the T-Mobile Arena. And I'd been, like, the first time I was there, I was doing the Mac Life videos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would have been there with a camera. And then this time I was there, and you walk in and you got your name on the corner gear. And you put on your gear and you're backstage and all that. And it was fucking magic. It was magic. It really was.
I suppose when you look back at that, them events, anytime Conor fights, it's a marquee event.
Yeah.
And I only had this conversation with my dad yesterday. That event for you, when you sit back and tell, do we know what you're having yet? Is it a boy or a girl? You don't know yet.
It's a boy. Yeah.
There you go. So in 20, 30 years' time, you sit back, it'd be like my dad or my granddad showing me old Muhammad Ali fight that are black and white, you know? Marquee event, and the way you get that image in your head, it's like I was there, but for you were actually there. You are in the madness.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
We're in 40 feet of the whole thing.
Yeah, so sitting next to what's the ring announcers? Brucey. So Brucey told me to fucking move. Because he goes in and give him the old handshake, said a couple of words to him, and then he went, right? And then we all scrambled down to where your stools are.
Look at this. What? Look at this who's ringing me. I haven't heard from the man in 2 years.
Andrew McGann, tell him to fuck off. Go and answer that. See what he says. Let him go live.
I'm live on Channel 4. Don't say fuck or bugger. I'll ring you back in a minute. Go on.
He must be watching it live, is he? He's probably got your fucking place booked.
Are we live?
No, we're recording. We're unedited though. But yeah, I think it's there's a great, like, did you ever see the cam shot of the corner? Did you see that one? Yeah. Whereas I've always ever seen everybody else when they jump up, Yeah, but I just like to see me kind of like that, But it was, but he's just like, it's incredible, like the amount of work that goes into it. But just when you just let him off the lead and you just let him create like that, I mean, like, he's a fucking savant. I mean, you get in there and you run through a guy, you break his nose and his orbital with your fucking shoulders, and then you head kick the guy that's meant to head kick you. And none of that's planned. It's just like that. Just freelance it there. Off you go.
Not that I've seen any of Connor's training, or I think I may have been on the match a couple of times down in the SBG down in Greenogue. But the one memory, when you say he's a savant, the one memory that always stands out was it was the second Cage Warriors fight, and we had Redzar. I think it was Redzar Siri, Chris Bouchard, and I think Conrad was with us at the time. There was big events in Dublin. For the featherweight title, and he won that, and then he was fighting Buchinger. And I'll never forget, a lot of the times ourselves and SBG would share that Cage Warriors dressing room. So when you went out the back, it was like the tiered seating.
Yeah.
And I never forget, Conor walked in with Dee, and you were standing at the door. And I walked up the hall, and he was standing, say, here, as I went to walk through the door. He'd seen me, and I went to not jab him in the stomach, but I went to say, "All right, Connor," or whatever. He slipped that and countered. Now, it didn't hit me, but just I was like, "Fuck me, them senses were bleeding on." That was boop.
Yeah.
Just for me, like as if to go, "All right." He moved and was able to throw a shot. Now he's probably in that mind space already, right? You know, getting himself into the mind space of fighting and stuff. But when you say that, like it's just, he's a savant. It goes back to that memory I have of him. And then even down to when I was looking the Cowboy fight, when he hit that overhook on the arm, and a lot of people will sort of try and make distance and separate.
Yeah.
But from that madness of the overhook, Cowboy is a Thai boxer, and I was expecting to say, right, break away from here. And next of all, he leaped with that shoulder, boom, and then he hit another one, and then he hit another one. And people were saying to me, "That's bullshit." In work on Monday morning, people were like, nah, there's a fix. It was this, that. I was like, listen, let me pull an overhook on you, and I'll give you a smack of the shoulder, and just one, and see the damage that someone who's not a professional fighter, who hasn't been on a mat in a long time, the damage you can do with just that technique. But even down to him realising from an overhook of a position where it can create serious damage with a tool or a weapon that nobody expects coming.
And he didn't do anything. He just hit him, and your man doesn't do anything. Okay, do it again. Boom, nothing. Do it again.
Because
boom.
Cowboy never seen a weapon like the shoulder being used as a weapon. Yes, fair enough. The shoulder can be used to to move the head into a position so you can get your own head position in or whatever. But to be used like that so effectively, it's like he sees stuff that people don't see.
Because even when I was watching it live, you know, when that broke, because it didn't look like much from where it was sitting, you know, and then when it broke, you just see his eye all swollen. I was like, what? He's at the breaking his fucking nose. And then checks the fucking kick and then return, boom, drops him with the fucking head kick. What was it? Was it 30 shots thrown, 29 on target? Like, come on.
Yeah, no, it's
For fuck's sake.
I'd love to see him come back now and, you know, really make a good run.
He's on it every day. Like, we're in touch every day. He is on it every day. We have a whole program that he's doing every day in his gaff. We've got a whole setup in his gym. He has his own little gym in the compound, you know. And Jules, the doc, puts out what we're doing for the week, and he does it, and then he videos it, sends it to us, and he's flying. But into it. That's the difference. You know, you got to be into it. You know, you got to want it. And I was only thinking about, see that Dublin card that that was meant to be on, that probably won't be on, the UFC Dublin. Like, everyone that was on that card is finished, and he's got better. All the Irish lads, Cahill, Chris, Paddy, Ash, who else was there? Siri, you know?
Norman, did Norman fight?
Don't think Norman did, no. No, we didn't.
Did he?
No, not on the Dublin card, no. No, it was just Siri and then the lads from John's gym. But
the golden days. And Gunny fought.
Gunny as well. Well, Gunny's kind of like half Irish, isn't he, really?
Remember me first memory of Gunny Nelson, right?
Yeah.
I was after being training with John in Greenock, and John says to me, "Where do you live?" And I was like, I'm living on the north side at the minute. And he says to me, "My mate is opening a gym on the north side," and it turned out to be Andy.
Right.
I introduce you to him, and this unit walks towards me.
Right.
Big, huge, you know, Andy.
Yeah.
And he had a purple belt on. He's like, "All right." I was like, yeah, I live out in Donamead or wherever at the time I was living there. He's like, "Yeah, I only live around the corner from it." And he opened the gym. So what happened was I started to train with Andy.
Yeah.
He said to me one day that we were going over to cross train with the boys back over in Greenock.
Yeah.
We went over, and all the lads from the north, Peter Lowry and all them guys were down, and they were all probably blue belts at the time.
Right.
And I remember sitting there, and I was only probably a white belt myself, and I'm sitting there, and Gunny Nelson walks in, this handsome.
He was handsome, was he?
Yeah.
Beautiful looking kid, wasn't he?
The blonde hair. He sticks on this guy and he was only probably, I think, 19, 20 at the time.
Yeah.
Young. put on a purple belt, but when you walked into the old green oak, when you walked in the door to the mats on the left-hand side, it came back up a little bit.
Yeah.
And he was there in his own. And I was looking at him. I was like, who the fuck is he? Because he looked the part.
He did.
And next ball, and he goes, oh, that's Gunny. He's from Iceland. He comes over and trains with John, like. And I think at the time, I think he'd rolled your man Jeff Monson and tapped him out in Abu Dhabi or one of the big jiu-jitsu competitions or something like that. And we start rolling, as in everybody doing warm-ups and stuff like that. And then the boys were, I think there were some lads grading and some lads weren't grading or whatever it was. But I remember I got to rolling for about 30 seconds. And I mean, I never felt anything like it. And I remember having this memory going, I want to be able to do this to somebody. And that was the motivation to keep going back and going back. But from remembering then as a purple belt in John's to what he became, I was like, holy fuck. And yet again, it goes back to, we were all there. We witnessed all this back in 2005 and 2006 when all these people, well, when did Conor start?
Conor started at Green Oak as well.
Yeah, probably around 06, 07, I'd say.
Yeah.
So
him and what's his name that fought in the first UFC Dublin? Tom Egan, yeah.
Shout out to Tom over in Boston.
Great. I was only thinking about his skipping routine because I was skipping this morning. Did you ever see that fucker skip?
No.
He had a video on YouTube years back when no one had videos on, but he can skip. Like skip, you know what it is, dudes?
I was big into boxing.
He was a boxer at the time, yeah. And I used to go up and train with him on a Friday. He used to do a little bit of boxing, and then that was the fucking thing. I remember Gunny the first time I met Gunny, same thing in Green Oak, and he showed up, handsome kid, beautiful boy, you know, that kind of way. He was about 17, 18. He'd only started, and it was sparring on Thursday. It was like kickboxing, basically 2 lines. And 5-minute timer, and just knocked the shit out of each other. And I sparred with him with kickboxing, and he just knocked the bollocks out of me, basically. I couldn't get the time in at all, but he was a Kukashinru European champion.
Pretty good, wasn't he?
Yeah. But just like super athletic, super strong, had all the gear. I always remember he had to like, because I get this bag envy thing. I'm big into bags, but if I see someone with a bigger bag than me, I feel like I haven't brought enough stuff, you know? And he had this coral bag made out of a gear.
He had a big coral bag, I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah,
it was tough to get stuff at the time.
I never saw it before. I'd seen it in the magazines, and he had the bag made out of a gear. I thought, you know, he had all the gear. He just looked cool. You know what I mean? Yeah, he knocked the shit out.
Actually, the first time I seen him fight, he fought in Cage. He fought in the Ring of Truth or the Cage of Truth.
Right.
But the first time I seen him proper fight, he fought in a Cage Contender, and the same thing. He walked in, but he had the fedora on.
Right.
Into the after party in Reds. Actually, Paddy Hewland talks about it in his book.
Does he?
The after party in Reds, yeah.
That was on O'Connell Street, wasn't it?
Reds was on O'Connell Street, and I think one of the guys out of SBG used to walk the door or walk in it.
That's what it was, yeah.
And
that's what it was.
That's where the Cage of Truth. So a lot of the years ago in Ireland, the MMA shows down south, there was like tribal warfare out in the west, and then there was the Ring of Truth, which became the Cage of Truth.
That's right.
That John and Andy man. And then up north, you had the EFR shows and Cage Wars, I think it was.
What was the Ferguson guy? Was that Cage Contender?
That was Cage Contender. He came along, I'd say around, it might have been 07 to around 2010. And then he had a lot of falling out with people. And
he didn't pay anyone.
Huh?
He didn't pay anyone.
Yeah, well, that's what happens, you know. But and the thing about Ireland is it's such a small club. MMA has a lot of people have come into MMA in the last 5 years, but to a lot of people, it's very dear to them. They put their life into it. They've invested everything they own and everything.
Didn't you put on shows?
Who?
You.
Oh yeah. No, well, I'm always involved in.
Yeah, but I found. Do you know what I found the other day? An interview I've done of you at one of Andy's shows. You were the MC.
Yeah. So well, I started was. When the Ring of Truth was on, I started, you know, because it's like when I say to you, when I get into something, I get mad into it. So when I got into MMA and Jiu-Jitsu, it became sort of my life. So then Andy introduced me to the promoting side of the game, to say, look, we've guys in the gym that needs fights, we'd put on shows in order to accommodate them fights.
Right.
The Ring of Truth was Andy and John's, and I started as just a runner, helping put up the boxing ring, putting out chairs, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Then Cage of Truth happened, and yet again, just helping out behind the scenes. But I was seeing how the logistics of how it worked behind the scenes. Then we went, Andy, Cage of Truth sort of folded. You know, there wasn't much happening with it, and Andy started Battle Zone, and we started doing it in the same place all the time. So there was Regency Hotel for the big ones, and the Trinity Sports Complex for the smaller shows.
Right.
But it was from that then I just got involved where I was involved in I was the MC for it. I was doing commentating for it. I was matchmaking for some of them, just helping out. You know, we trying to take some of the work off Andy to let him concentrate on doing what he needed to do, and then I do the stuff behind the scenes. So I got to do it, like we had a guy doing the production and stuff like that. So, you know, different tailor the tapes, all that type of stuff. The stuff people just see on screen and take for granted, as in like it's part of the show. It was, I'd be there with them putting the groundwork in, running around doing bits and pieces. And then I also I did Winter Warrior for 3 seasons. Yeah, so do you know what? There's an here.
Yeah. Do you remember that?
We the big poster of that in the gym.
I filmed that in the gym the other day. Just popped out of a fucking...
John Donnelly fight Gergard Mousasi on that show.
That's right, he did. Yeah. Matt cunt.
Yeah.
Who's going that?
Who's going that off? See that fella?
Yeah.
I swear to God, if the stars had a line from
Donnelly,
he's unbelievable. Like, he kicks like a mule, he punches like a mule. Yeah. His ground game is slick.
Yeah.
He's so educated on so many different martial arts.
Yeah. He looks the same as well. Has he never aged?
No, never aged. And his old man is the same.
Yeah.
The whole and the sister's a great boxer as well. But the old man and him,
they were hard. His old man was a hard cunt. I remember when they used to show up, Andy, him, and John Donnelly would show up at John's place on a Thursday night, and it's like, oh, bollocks.
Well, I'd say John's dad, Peter's probably, I don't want to disrespect man, but say he's 60.
Right.
He'd give any guy in the gym a good run for his money.
Look, he didn't hold back either. I mean, those Thursday spars, it was just a fight, wasn't it? Yeah. 2 lions, no weight thing. Do you know what I used to do? I 10-ounce gloves and I pulled the fucking stuffing out of them just to survive. Like headache in the car.
You are one of them. When I was walking in with the 16.
That's because fucking Andy reminded me there, swinging like a fucking mad joke. It was never a lie.
No, it's they were the good old days. But do you know what? I feel lucky that I was there when MMA not just first came to Ireland, because Andy and John had been doing it a couple of years before. But I came in at a time where, if you searched YouTube, there was less than 1,000 videos. If you put MMA into Google, there was less than 1,000 listens on MMA. Yeah, it was so rare.
And you didn't know they were fighting.
Here's I'll give you 2 stories, right? Two stories from 2 of my fights. So we were doing an in-house club show in the Baldoyle gym. Andy had this gym in Baldoyle, and it was you know, it was years beyond its time. So I think it was around 07 he had it. But we'd saunas, we'd 2 matted areas, we'd a boxing room, we'd a cage.
I was there. It was great spot. Do you know who I went to see at a seminar there? The machine.
Who?
The machine.
Oh, I was at that machine, and I'll tell you what technique he showed: how to take in against the fence when you go double underhook and you ratchet.
Yeah.
I still have notes.
That was a great seminar. I got 2 great things at that. I still use them.
But that was great, because all them fellas came to us years ago.
Yeah.
Just for a weekend trip.
Yeah.
Like Gary back when you'd never bought.
Came.
We'd Raphael Cavalcante, but like the Rich Franklin, Dan Henderson, we'd loads of people there that you'd never expect to get. And it's like
Yeah.
what you said, you know, the sport brings people to rub shoulders that
Yeah.
you see
Yeah.
on screen.
Yeah.
You don't,
And they're just
so,
ordinary blokes like yourself. Do you know what I mean?
but getting back to you didn't know who you were fighting. So we were doing an in-house competition, and Andy says to me, "Do you want to do a grappling match in it?" This was probably on a Friday evening, the show on a Saturday. I was like, "Yeah, no problem. Who am I grappling?" He said, "I'll match you up with a fella," and there was a fella from Northern Ireland called Camille, probably about 90 kilos, 100 kilos. And Andy says to
Go
me,
away.
so I'm walking around at 69, 70 kilo. And he says, "You can grapple him." He says, "But it'd be great because it'll show how a smaller guy and a bigger guy can work out." So I says, "Right." So they're warming up, stretching, and Andy comes up and he goes, "Change of plan. Jer Wheelahan is only 64 kilos. He's going to roll your man. Roll at your man."
Right.
He says, "You're going to an MMA fight." I said, "Who am I fighting?" I'd never trained for an MMA fight at the time, right? This is like 3 minutes before.
Oh, isn't Andy great, isn't he?
And I'll never forget, Andy goes, Gary Bergen was in the room at the time. He goes, "Just wrap his hands there." He said, "You'd be on about 10, 15 minutes. Like, okay, I've been training, you know. I haven't been training for a fight, but, you know,
They're martial artists.
I know what to do. I said, let's do it. And I went down. The fella had about 10 kilos on me. I was like, "Oh, the last thing I need." So it's actually on YouTube. I threw a Superman punch, kneed him, and he just took me down.
Right.
I was like, "This is where I wanted to be."
Yeah.
Happy days.
Yeah.
So I submitted him in anyway.
Right.
But I always took it that Andy, if he said to me, "You'll be grand, you'll be grand."
Yeah.
So it came to around 2010 or 11, I think it was. And he says to me, "Do you want to know a trip to Chicago?" I was like, "Why, who's fighting? Am I doing a corner?" He says, "No, fight. Do you want to fight in Chicago?" He says, "Red's fighting as well, and Doyler's fighting, and a few others." I said, "Okay, go on, I'll have a trip over there." I said, "Who am I fighting?" I think he's like 2-1 or something like that. It's like, right, no bother at all. So I get into the cage, right? No, actually, the day before I'm weighing in, and this fella, he was a big, tall dude with Brandon Maddox, right? So he's standing there. He's a black guy, tattoos all over him, but he bullet holes on him, like, right?
Which guy you're fighting?
Yeah. He's sitting there, and I'm like, holy jeez. I'm like a little skinny, pale Irish kid, right? I'm like, fuck this. So with that, I get in. We're fighting in a place called the DuPage Expo Center. So it's a big arena. So I go in, and it's how big it is. There's no bars. They pull in these big trailers, these semi-trailers, Budweiser, and it's like self, you know, they're all around like the place, right? So I pull into the venue. We go warm up, and we go in, and they announce me to the cage. And next of all, the announcer man, he's like, "From the murder capital of the world, like Michigan, with a record of 15 wins, say 14 within the first round, all by way of KO." And Neil Seary was in my corner, and I looked at Seary as like, fucking 15 wins, right? So I said, "What God?" Seary goes, "Me grand, take him down and just strangle him." I was like, right. So I came out, and he kicked me, right? He kicked me in the hip. And I was like, I never felt a kick like it before, where I dropped to a knee and came back up, right? And something in my head, like survival mode kicked in, take him down. And I just shot straight in, took him down, and same again, caught him in a triangle, and I choked him. I was like, fuck it in any way, Andy, but I'll trust you. Once you say you'd be grand, I'll be all right. But they were looking now, like even from what I remember, matchmaking battle zone, trying to get an amateur fighter to fight now. It's like, I need 12 weeks. I need to make sure my dietitian is on board. I need to get me sponsor. I was like, you want fucking drugs, man.
But they're not fighters, though.
When the EFR shows used to go up, I remember going up to an EFR show with Andy, John Donnelly, Richie Moore, Carl, Roddy used to be up there, because we used to always travel together. Ash, Mark Leonard, who else to be? Clive Staunton, Tom King, Chris Fay, all the real old school guys.
Yeah.
And what people used to do, well, before that, when it was Andy and Rodney Moore and John Cabin and all these guys, what weight are you? 66. What weight are you? 75. Do you want to fight him? I'll fight him.
Yeah.
There was none of this, like, I need 12 weeks. Of to see if the local butchers is on board for the sponsorship for the chicken fillets. And you know. But they need to go back to where.
I got lost in the social media.
Well, you see, that's the point. They need to go back to where it's. I'm competing to challenge myself, and I'm competing because I like to compete. I'm not doing it for a like. I'm not doing it for a view on an Instagram. I'm not doing it for anything else but me training to do a certain thing and being able to implement that technique to see if it'll be successful.
I mean, good example of that is that big black dude that you fought with the bullet holes in him. Like, what's going to body you after that?
Do you know what? I have to say it was an experience. That was an experience. We landed there and he wanted us. Redzer was cutting weight, and at the time, Redzer had had to knock a bit of weight off himself. And Redzer was rematching a guy who he'd fought a year before in Boston, right?
Yeah.
And I'll never forget. Yeah, we had this girl that brought us around. I can't even think of her name now, but she was from an Italian family, the Positanos, something like that. She rocked up in a big Escalade, and she was like, "Right, I'm gonna bring you to all the sponsors, restaurants and bars and stuff. And, like, the lads need to cut weight. Oh, we'll do it on the way. No, we need to cut weight. Like, so the guy's about an hour, and next of all, knocking the door. Yeah, listen, you're getting into the St. Patrick's Day parade because it was Paddy's Day, wasn't it? They're getting in the Paddy's Day parade, so they fucked us onto the back of this bleeding truck with a tricolour. We're all freezing. Right, Red's just trying to cut weight jogging on the spot and all.
No, it's cold there as well, isn't it? In fucking Paddy's Day.
Yeah, it was cold. It was fucking big. It was just
Windy City.
You see two runnings when they walk out of the airport. They put all the clothes. That's what it was like. No, but no, it was an experience. It was an experience.
McGann again, is it?
Huh?
That's McGann again, is it?
No. That's the wife telling me the dinner will be ready in 2 hours.
How long are we on?
Coming up on an hour now, I'd say.
Right.
Yeah.
And what we're gonna do? We're gonna start having people on as an interview, are we?
Yeah. So I was talking to Andy the other day. I think Andy's gonna come on, and Andy's been doing a lot of podcasts and videos the last couple of days. With his own team, Rhino one, and a couple with the lads over.
Yeah. He should do it. He is a character.
Look, Andy's around a long time. He knows it. Like, he's so knowledgeable, but he's just like he's a man of the people. You know,
he doesn't take himself too seriously either.
Yeah, and I think people magnetize towards that. You know, he doesn't take himself too serious. He's always up for a laugh. But when it comes to the gym and it comes to lads training, he's passionate about it, and he's professional, and when in that role. But we're gonna get Andy on.
Yeah,
he might go back down memory lane, talk about a couple of the old shows that he's been on, a couple of the crazy stories he's been on, and yeah, just probably aim to do one a week.
He brings 50 lads over here every year.
Well, look, I've been over there twice myself. That's and right. It's, do you know what, for them 5 days, it's unbelievable. The weather, the sun, and because everybody knows you in the town.
Yeah.
When 20 lads strolling down a village and they're in like vests, tattoos all over them. All the, like, oh, you're with Colin. Like, yeah. Colin, yeah.
No, I tell you, the first time I was in Vegas, because he's been, I don't know how long he's coming out, 5-6 years or something like that, but the first time he had the big amount come, I think there was like 45 lads, and I was in Vegas at the time. And I remember waking up one morning and I saw a photograph, and he had them all down on the green there beside the pool.
That's right, yeah.
In the 3 different, and I fucking felt so proud that I'd done something, and then that people had come, because I kind of think, oh, I'll make this place, and then people will come. And that was out of all the years I'd been there, I think it was like 3 years ago, that really kind of summed it up for me, like that amount of people got it together to get on a plane, to come to a place to train. And I was fucking so proud. And I'm delighted. Actually, he sent me a message afterwards, and he was going, over all the years we've been through, we've just become good friends. Actually, we have, Andy. We have become good friends, Because at one stage when I used to see him, I'd be like, oh, fuck, here he is again. Because I remember one of the first times I met him, well, not the first time, but one of the first times, I bought these ear protectors, because when I started doing jiu-jitsu first, my ears started getting really sore, and we go to bed, like, couldn't lie in the pillow. So I found this place in a magazine and sent off to the States to get these like fucking ear muffs. And then Andy showed up at John Kavanagh's gym. It was in the one in Harold's Cross.
Yeah.
Go to roll. First thing he does is he gets the the bandits across pulls it down over me fucking eyes. Couldn't see, choked me. I never wore them again. That was it. But that's Andy, isn't it? In a nutshell.
Well, I think, is he going back over to later in the year?
He's
September?
expected to come over for October. I don't see anyone going anywhere.
Well,
just like just the way it's gone, I think I don't think they might open up places to go back to work, but I can't see free travel of any country, and you know what I mean. I don't see that happening. Open borders again in October. I just don't see it.
No, well, if not this year, hopefully he gets the arrangement then for next year. We can.
Yeah, but I just don't see. I just like scratch this year. I'm like, I'm glad with the quiet now, and I'm glad with. Well, I'm sure like come October, you'll be like, just let me out of here now. Waiting for the back call off Connor, back to the mayhem again. Do you know what I mean?
So that can happen. Like you can get a phone call now at 4:00.
I'll be on the plane at 6. And that's just and it's not for everybody. And I never used to be like that either. I used to, you know, someone would say to you, like my worst nightmare would be if someone said, you're going to the airport in an hour and you're going to fly 12 hours to South Africa. I'd fall apart. Wouldn't be able to do it. Yeah. I'd be like, oh, geez, I need a week. I need to plan this and get that organized. Just to kind of get your head around being trapped on a small container. It's the control thing, right? It's not about flying. And then with him, all the madness, and I only realized that I've got over a load of like fear. I used to be afraid of heights and stuff like that, and I didn't realize that I'm not afraid of heights anymore. It's just because of I'd get a phone call. Can you get to the airport in an hour? You got to go to Vegas. I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm half packed, everything's ready. Throw everything in the bag, and I'm gone. And I just get on a plane for 14 hours or whatever. And it takes me 20 hours to get there, go to London and fly across. And there was how I realized a lot of stuff had changed for me. We went to Russia there recently. And I thought that the fans in America were kind of nuts. Russia, they lost their shit for him, right?
I seen the road where all the posters of him.
Yeah. That was Ukraine, yeah. But when we went to Russia, it was just like, I never say anything like it. It was mayhem, right? But we went to this studio to do an interview for TV, and on the way to the interview, we go past this tower, and you know, like a spire, you know, like the spire, but it's got a restaurant on top, and the thing is 0.5 kilometer high, right? Like mad looking structure with this rotating restaurant, and I was like, "Fuck me, that's horrendous." And they're like, "Oh, we're going there for lunch." I was like, I'm not. Do you know what I mean? Like even the times it was in New York, I've never even been up a high-rise building in New York. Just wouldn't go in it. No, never. I had like, I think it was about 10 years of age. I went on holidays to Torremolinos, and it was a 20-story building. And I remember being on the floor lying down because I couldn't deal with the height. Not even looking out. Always terrible. So anyway, we get to this fucking restaurant, and we had to go through 3 different layers of security, like airport security, guys with submachine guns to get into this fucking lift to get up into this tower. Connor goes in first, and he had to go through this little corridor, and then 20 feet in, you could see the elevator. And it was me, and it was Alan there. Alan's his CEO, right? He's a kind of European kind of head honcho. And I'm looking at Alan, and he's looking at me, and we're waiting for the second elevator. And he says, "I have an awful fear of heights." I said, "So have I, Alan, yeah." He says, "Yeah, but I went up the Eiffel Tower, and on the first layer, I collapsed, and they had to bring him back down again." Right? So like, really? He said, "Yeah, fuck it. I think I'll just wait till they have their dinner. I'll wait down here. Fuck it, you know." And then I thought, look, here I am in Russia in this mad spot. Like, what's the worst case scenario? I get up there, I don't like it. Get me back. How long does the elevator take? A minute. All right, I can deal with it for a minute, right? So we cram through. We get into this. Everyone's crammed in this fucking elevator, and it belts up, and you can hear your ears popping, pop, 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 pop. And there's a TV screen, and it's got a camera in the shaft. It's going up, right? And we open up on the 325th floor, and we walk out, and the whole fucking thing is glass, and the whole floor is glass. And I just walk straight out, and I walk straight across the glass floor, and nothing. I was like, fuck. I'm over here at heights, obviously. Sat down, had me dinner in this rotating restaurant. That was it. And that's just from being able to go on a wing and a prayer. I was always at like, you know, I'd have to plan things better. And now I realized I don't need much. All you need is like your passport, a bank card, the clothes on your back, and then you can pick up anything along the way, you know. And it's a great spot to be. Yeah, it's a great spot to be. It just makes you not waste energy on shit that doesn't need any being wasted on, like worrying about what ifs and worrying about maybes, you know.
Well, we've a lot of time to take that way of thinking, because a lot of people are worrying now at the minute. They don't know what's going on, what's
Can't
happening.
do anything about it. Can't do anything about it.
That's the thing. We've no control over it, so there's no point in even putting your energy into it.
No, I tell you what. The other thing I learned as well over the last few years is embrace the experience. And I just put this down to an experience. Embrace it, and just enjoy it. Enjoy the experience. Don't be worried about tomorrow. Can't do anything with it. Just get up in the morning, get dressed up. That's the other thing I'm doing. You know, I'm obviously wearing a white t-shirt.
Yeah, I know.
Dressed up like it's Friday night.
The jacket.
Yeah.
I got the Converse bomber on.
Yeah. 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 Just dress up like it's Friday night. Like
people are losing their routine. People are losing their routines because they're waking up and it's like day 20, and nothing. They've nothing in the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
But it's like when you first told me about what I need to do when I'm vlogging the day, it's like have a beginning, have a middle, and have an end.
That's it.
And your day should be formatted like that. As in, get up, right? What am I doing? I'm washing the shave, me breakfast, me coffee, you know, and then I'm getting ready for what I'm doing. The afternoon, what am I doing? Right, I'm doing something with the umflet. I'm do a bit of homework, do this. Evening time, what am I doing? I'm out in the canoe with the bow.
Yeah.
You know, if you have a structure to your day, it's a lot easier. You know, have a couple of jobs that you need to do throughout the day, structure your day out, rather than just waking up and going, let's see what the day brings.
Nah, like, you really only need two things for a day. You need a start and you need an end. The middle will take care of itself. If I miss the start, I missed the day. I may as well scratch it. So my start is get up before the sun. I don't close the curtains. Get up before the sun.
You're not in the normal calendar no more, I hear.
Not on the normal calendar, the Julian calendar. And like there's loads of different calendars. Like Chinese have a calendar. Those lads from South America had their own calendar. Do you remember that? What was the name of that calendar?
The Mayan.
The Mayans. Do you remember the whole world was going to end on the Mayan calendar? Like there's all these different ones. And the one we're working off is the Julian calendar from Julius Caesar from 491 AD. And like I said the other day, what's that got to do with fucking me?
What he got to do with me?
Yeah, well, that's it. Now, obviously, when I'm in the real world, I have to abide by those rules. But now that I'm in my world here, I don't abide by them at all. Like, I'm going off the lunar. Like, I'm chasing around the moon at the moment, and I'm waiting. The 21st is a big day for me because there's no moon, and there will be an arc from the sky, like a rainbow of the Milky Way and the galactic center, and I've never seen it before, ever. And I'm going to go out and catch that at like 11 p.m. And I'm going to go out from 11 till 5 in the morning. And I'm going to photograph it all night. I've never seen it. It's usually just a line up and it's a kind of thing and it moves across. But this will be like a rainbow from right on the horizon. And it's going to be spectacular. And that's my goal now, the 21st. That's what I've got to look forward to. And that's off the lunar cycle.
So where do you get all this? What's forthcoming? I presume you're on an app, are you?
The app to look at is Photo Pills. It's a 10-book app, and it'll show you where's what. But you can subscribe to their YouTube channel, and they put out a video when there's new stuff coming out. But there's also this other kid I watch from Wales, Alan. Can't think of his second name, but he does what's coming up in the next month. And he'll show you day by day what's up, what planets you can see, and it's fucking amazing. Like, you know, up until like 30 years ago there was only 9 planets. 9. Yeah. Like Jupiter and all these lads, right? Now when you look up at all, see every star that you see up there, every one of them has at least one planet going around it. Yeah. Like the sun is a star. You know, there's 9 going around it.
You know, there could be another Colin Bourne sitting on a parallel planet somewhere else.
Yeah, it's bizarre. And there we are worried about some little cold, you know. Here's the thing. It's not a flu virus.
What?
The COVID-19. The last flu virus we had was Spanish flu, and that killed between 50 to 100 million people when the population was 1.8 billion. Half 500 million people got infected with that. That was a flu. So you've heard of the expression to go viral. Video goes viral. When a virus goes viral, it wipes out everybody, and that's a flu pandemic. The one we have now is not a flu. So count your lucky blessings. It's not, and we're due one. Could bang in the next couple of months too. On top of this, that's the reality of things. We're very fragile.
Well, look. What we can do is do what we need to do ourselves. Wash your hands.
Stay healthy.
Good hygiene. Build up your immune system. Exercise. There's lots of stuff you can do. We can prevent it by just looking after our own shit. There
was one thing I learned when I studied Chinese medicine, and one thing I learned in that was healthy people don't get sick. Sick people get sick.
Yeah.
And that's the truth of it. So if you're unhealthy, you're going to get sick. So this is really where it comes down to, like, are you looking after yourself? Are you eating well? Are you doing a little bit of exercise? Are you keeping your immune system up? You're smoking. Like
the whole eating well thing, right?
Oh, yeah, it's huge.
I had a takeaway in about 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Right? But what I am having is, and it's bringing me back to my childhood, where I'd walk into school, I walk every day, and my mum would have a proper cooked meal, like a full whack meal.
Right.
That's happening now. Like, we're back to home cooking. Like, even my own wife is baking. Bacon, daily bread, bacon. Just we're resetting from all the bullshit that we have had in our day-to-day lives.
Yeah.
So back to exercise first thing in the morning, eat healthy, good breakfast, home cooked food, good healthy mindset, good healthy thinking, good immune system, and we'd be good. People. And the other thing is, we need, when this stops, we need people to reinvest in the Irish economy. So buy Irish, support your local small businesses, all that type of stuff.
Remember the guaranteed Irish sign?
Yeah, I remember it.
The G with the I in it.
Used to be on the old Ashland copybooks in school.
Yeah, you'd buy it, you'd see it on stuff, G and the I in the middle, and you say, oh, boy, that. Because even here, when I'm in Portugal, like, I go to the supermarket, I'll only buy fruit and veg from here. I don't want to buy it from Spain. I don't want to ship it all the way up here. Local stuff, support the local economy. Oh, I'm going to get involved in a charity here as well, because, like, just to leave you on this one, but it's quite a poor country here, and they don't have 208 euros a week if they lose their job. And because there's no tourists coming out, it's all based on tourism. I bumped into a lad, Hamish. He owns a green room. It's a restaurant down the way, and he set up his place to make food for families that don't have any food. Last week there was 20 families that didn't have any food to feed their kids, and the day I met him, which was about 4 days ago, there was 350 families that couldn't feed their kids. And there's a surplus of food. Like, I was in the Aldi the other day, they were throwing out all the shit. So they've set up a charity to get the surplus of food. It's not like there's a lack of food. It's just there's a lack of organization to feed these people. Now, because she had 3 little cleaning jobs, he had 2 little jobs doing maintenance for people that rented out gaffs. Do you know, that's all gone overnight. There is no dole here. You know what I mean? You went from making 800 quid a month here on the grey to getting zilch, and you've got 4 kids.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? So I'm going to get involved with that. I'm going to shoot a little film on it during the week, and try and get people not to give money, but to give their skills, their life skills, their kind of like organization skills, their communication skills. So they're setting up a charity to coordinate all the different supermarkets, the farmers that have surplus food, put it all together. They're going to cook it in their kitchen and then going to feed all these people. So I'm going to get involved in that. I think it's a good thing to do.
Thing is, when something like that happens, it has to be done, and the right people have to get it, and not the dregs of society that can avail of it and will take it even though they don't need it.
Yeah, these are just ordinary folk that just the poor. Basically.
Yeah, that's the thing we have to realise. If you shoulder to shoulder, if you don't need it, don't take it. If you can give. If you can't give, it doesn't make a difference. But be there, shoulder to shoulder, to support everybody.
And like this place has been very good to me. It's been very good to everyone that's come here, and I'd like to give a little bit back as well. I mean, when I finished with Connor, I always said I'd get involved with the orphanage here and start trying to teach them the jiu-jitsu. But like now this thing's popped up, I'll have a little bit of time. I have a camera. I can use that skill as in like get it out there to show people what goes on in other spots as well, and everyone, dig in and help out your neighbour. Same way where you are now, people can't go out if they're older. See if your neighbour wants the shopping done, or do you know what I mean? Help out. Use your time good, it'll come back to you.
Invest back within your community.
It'll come back to you.
Whether it's money or time, one is just as valuable as money means fuck all now at the minute, because it's like who did they say was on Paddy's podcast?
Kiefer
Crosby. The runners mean fuck all. The cars mean nothing now. The nice clothes mean nothing. And he's right. It doesn't, Colin. You're stuck now with the people that mean most to you. Your family.
Yeah.
And that's worth more than any amount of money.
Yeah. Now, there's a lot of pluses in it. There's a lot of pluses. Let's wrap it and let's get
wrap it without cutting your finger. Do an L.
Have you seen the? Hang on. This is the butterfly. Do you like it? It's a new little tool. It's not a ninjutsu weapon by any means, but it's something that I've been messing around with. I've got two, obviously. You saw me doing it in the video, did you?
Yeah.
It was not a comment on it. I thought people would be like,
I was practicing.
I was doing well until that happened. But it's like, I like the thing is like that's a dummy blade, right? So there's no consequence. So whereas the live blade, which is where this handle is.
Yeah.
Now what happens is if you don't pay attention, you grab it by that and you swing it over onto your hand here.
Already
you're cut. And there's a consequence. So you gotta fucking pay attention. That's what I like about it. So a lot of people just don't pay attention to anything that they do. Nothing. So that makes me stay sharp. Literally.
On that note.
Yes.
We'll call it at that.
Yeah.
Next week we're gonna get Andy on. We'll try to do this weekly. Depending on time wise, we might even throw one in midweek, see how we are, how much editing involved in it. If we can just put it out raw.
No, we're just bang it out raw. No editing. Yeah. We'll just bang it out raw as is, conversation. And the other thing as well, if people want to get on it, give us a shout. If you're interested enough.
You don't need to be a celebrity. You don't need to be Amber. If you have a cool story, just hit us up. Hit Colin up on Instagram. Serpico Ninja, is it?
Serpico. What are you on the gram?
I was BJJ Lebowski, and I changed it to the company's called Delo Construction, so I changed it to Delo Steve. And Andy just be saying to me, I was like, "Do you not reply to me?" He goes, "No." I said, "Why?" He goes, "Because when everybody changed their name to funny names that I don't know, I just ignore them."
He's right though. Go back to Lebowski.
Steve on Instagram or Serpico Ninja on Instagram. And before we go, listen, all the frontline staff in Ireland, all the people in the hospitals, all the people delivering stuff, the people in Super Values, Dawn, Centra, Spars, all the shops that are still open, allowing people to go out and get their bits and pieces. We love you all. We're proud of you. Keep up the fight, and we're shoulder to shoulder with you.
That's it, isn't it?
What do you say, Colin?
I'd agree.
We're
all one.
We are all one.
We are all one. Hare Krishna.
So until next week.
Right.
I'm the ninja and myself. Arrivederci.
Rafter.